Welcome to New Possibilities. I speak truth to power without fear. So, Florida Governor Ron DeSantis has decided to ban an AP course in African American history. Now, he claims that this course violates the law and he claims that the course is inaccurate. He did not specify which law was violated. The state hasn't specified that. But it's clear, and many people have commented on this. More likely than not, they're referring to the Stop Woke Act. And basically, that was an act designed to ban critical race theory from being taught in public schools and, to ban any kind of teaching that would make white people feel guilty for what their ancestors had done in terms of slavery, in terms of Jim Crow, etc. So they're claiming that this particular course violates the law, and for that reason, they have banned it statewide. And many people understand what AP courses are. These are advanced courses that people take in high school, and they can actually earn college credit for taking these courses. So I just want to take some time to share my thoughts about this particular situation. There are a number of things that can be said about this. First of all, it's absolutely ridiculous to try to ban people from learning about the actual history in this country, learn about the African American history in this country. This particular course was designed to teach about 400 years of African American history in this country. According to Henry Louis Gates, this was a mainstream course. It wasn't something out of the mainstream or something that was controversial or radical or anything like that. It was basic African American history. And they're trying to suppress that, And the thing is, this is an effort to basically shut down any kind of discussion about the true history in this country, to shut down and prevent people from having knowledge about American history, the true American history. What they want to do is present propaganda instead of actual education. What they want to do is whitewash history and tell you some fairy tales about American history, myths instead of actual facts about American history. They want to gloss over the suffering of African Americans, gloss over the history of slavery in this country, gloss over, the role that these so-called founding fathers and framers of the Constitution and Declaration of Independence, they want to gloss over their role in slavery. They want to gloss over years of genocide that took place in this country, where the native population was literally wiped out. They want to just gloss over that and present us with a romanticized version of American history. They want to go back to the 40s and 50s when schools just perpetuated lies, where, black people were written out of the history books, where slavery was just some kind of footnote to be skipped over and not to be regarded in its true light or seen in its true light. That's what they want to do. So that's one thing. They want to perpetuate lies. They want to suppress the truth. And in addition to that, this is a situation where I think that what people like Ron DeSantis and the people that support this nonsense are trying to do is they're trying to prevent the rise of a new generation of activists, and what better way to do that than to suppress the knowledge that people are able to acquire in public schools. They didn't have any kind of problem whatsoever with AP courses in European history, AP courses in, white American history. They don't have any problem with that. But when it comes to teaching the truth about African American history, all of a sudden they have a problem with AP courses. All of a sudden they want to ban these courses. It's about suppressing the future generation of activists, because when people have knowledge, then people are often more inclined to act on the knowledge that they have. That means that you will have more activists in the community when people are informed about the history. Because, reading about the history and learning about the actual facts in this country and looking at the present conditions in this country will motivate many people to be activists. And people like Ron DeSantis want to prevent that from happening. So they want to give you lies, give you propaganda, give you fairy tales about American history and gloss over all the suffering, all the racism, all the slavery, all the genocide, all the terrorism that Americans are responsible for. They want to just gloss over that and literally whitewash history. That's what they're trying to do. And make no mistake about it, this is probably just the beginning. We see this in many jurisdictions where people have been trying to, quote unquote, ban critical race theory from being taught in schools, and it's not even taught in the high school and the public schools. Period. That's a course that's taught in colleges and universities, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with critical race theory to begin with. So those are two reasons. Another reason why I think that Ron DeSantis is taking this action is because of politics. He's positioning himself for a presidential run. According to many of these articles that I read about him, he's one of these people that like to focus on these hot button issues, these cultural issues that are divisive, issues that will rally the far right Republicans to his cause. So that's one of the reasons behind this. He's looking to run for president, and what better way to appeal to a right-wing racist party, and that's exactly what the Republican Party is, a racist party, than to bring up some cultural issue such as this, to stoke fear and anger and stuff like that. What better way to get votes than to do that? This is literally an example of race baiting. This is what that man is doing. He's race baiting and blowing racial dog whistles to a racist party so that he can get votes from those racist people. That's what it is. And it just needs to be called out for what it is. And this is a prime example of why elections actually matter. It was elected officials in Florida that decided to pass that quote unquote Stop Woke Act. And those elected officials were Republicans. That governor down there in Florida, Ron DeSantis, is a Republican. It is not a coincidence. So when people tell you this stuff about how, the two parties are essentially the same, they don't know what they're talking about. They don't have any knowledge of the current history of the Republican Party. This is a prime example of why elections matter and why we need to exercise our right to vote. It's not just about the presidential election. It's about these local elections too, these elections for governor, these elections for your city council and your mayors and all that kind of stuff, your state representatives and your state senators. Those elections matter, and the federal elections matter, of course. So those are my thoughts about this. I think it's absolutely despicable that you have this situation where you have a governor banning an AP course in African American history. He's basically trying to write Black people out of the history and whitewash history. And the thing is, these AP courses, only a small number of students, a relatively small number of students even take AP courses. But yet and still, you have somebody like this racist, and that's exactly what he is, trying to stand in the way of students being able to learn the history of African Americans in this country. And, to go back to the point about activism and education. Education is so important because it shapes people's minds and it shapes people's actions. When people don't have any understanding of African Americans and what we have gone through in the history of racism, slavery, and Jim Crow and stuff like that, when they don't understand that history, they are less sympathetic. They are desensitized to the plight of Black people. They don't have any understanding of the plight of Black people. And because of that lack of understanding, you have a perpetuation of racism and oppression of black people. And so this is just a damn shame, man. So those are my thoughts. Tell me what you all think. Please rate, comment, subscribe, like the video, share the video, and hit that notification bell so that you'll know when I post new content on here. Peace and blessings. Have a great day.